Hi, my name is Jonathan Bernstein, and I am releasing a second edition of my book, Two Goats. Two Goats was written during the pandemic. I spent a lot of time with my son. He was just 7 years old at the time, and we lived together in a big house with nobody else around. It was almost a farmhouse, and we kept our distance from everybody. We weren't sure about what was going on with the pandemic, how it was communicated. So we were very, very careful. And I never thought I'd spend 6 months nonstop, 24 hours a day with one person and see nobody else. But that's what happened. So there were a lot of lessons from this time. And one of the most important lessons was what I wanted to bring here and put together in this book, Two Goats. So it's a story of two goats who live on a farm, and they don't see anybody, just themselves, but they go on these adventures in this sort of rural farmhouse. They've got land, plenty of food to eat. And one day when they're on an adventure, they hear these sounds, and they sound like other goats. And the little goat can barely remember what other goats are like. So he's very excited. He goes up to the fence and he says, "Hello, hello, is this a goat?" And they say, "Yes, we're goats." And he gets so excited, he builds a ramp, he jumps over to the other side to be with the other goats. And then when he gets over there, he finds out that it's not really like the other side of the fence. They don't have poppies. It's not a nice old barn. Instead, it's just all mud. It's this sort of city life, and the goats are all very busy, and they don't want to spend time with him. They don't have time to help him. They don't have time to give him any attention. So he decides he wants to go back. He wants to go back over the fence, back to the farm, but there's no way to do that. There's no way to go back. The ramp was built only on one side. He has to figure out how to get back, and he decides somehow he puts things together and he builds a ramp and he jumps back to the other side. So now he's back with his father. The two goats are back together, and then they decide that they want to build a ramp for all the goats to come back and forth. So the goats that are in the city life and the goats that are in the country life, they all come together in the end, and they use the ramp that the little goat built. So it's a story really that has some lessons. And the first lesson is that when you are curious as a young person, that you should follow that curiosity and take risks and learn things on your own and learn how to be independent. It's sort of the opposite of the helicopter parenting style that has become popular now. It's about really the young generation taking initiative and learning how to take initiative, learning how to do things, learning how to understand what risk is and how to overcome it, manage it, and persevere. And so the little goat learns something, but also the older goats learn something. It's a simple story, but it has a lot of different interpretive meaning. It's the kind of book that I think would be good for parents who want to read to their children and want to tell a story and want to have the kind of story that they can discuss what that story means. So just to think about my background, I studied literature myself for years, and I have a PhD in literature. I worked on this case with Natalia Berezina. She's a brilliant illustrator. She's done over 40 children's books, and she's just some amazing illustrations, for this book. And we also have some other books that we're doing together. So it's available on Amazon.com, and it's available on twogoatsbook.com. And it's the kind of thing that would make a good gift, or something even to read with your own children. And I hope that you have a chance to look at this and enjoy it and can learn something from it. And thanks a lot for listening, and check out Two Goats.